Good morning, students. So we have completed the chapter of respiration. Just I will revise you entire chapter today in brief. So what did you see in the chapter respiration? What is the meaning of respiration? Respiration is nothing but obtaining energy. Respiration is nothing but obtaining energy by breaking of food molecules. Breaking of food molecule. So the glucose, which the food we have eaten, has been digested and is broken down into small molecules called glucose. It has been absorbed into the cells. Up to this, the digestion process is over. Now the glucose has entered into the cell. Now from glucose, the energy is liberated by what process? Respiration process. This occurs in the presence of oxygen. So glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen to liberate ATP, that is nothing but energy for the cell. So this process is called as respiration. In respiration, we have several steps. So earlier the scientists were doing several experiments to find out which gases are involved in the inhalation and exhalation. So at that time, Lavoisier found that oxygen is used for inhalation and carbon dioxide is used for exhalation. Maybe at that time he does not know the word carbon dioxide, but oxygen word was coined by the Lavoisier itself. Okay. Now after that, Lavoisier also told that while in exhaling, we are along with gas, we are liberating heat also. So these are some experiments, several experiments were conducted by several scientists, and they told that inhalation and exhalation, breathing occurs as the first step in the respiration, during which we inhale oxygen, and this is used for liberating energy from the food. Okay. So now we will see the events of respiration. What are the events of the respiration? First event is breathing. First step is breathing. Next is exchange of gases. Gases at lungs. Exchange of gases in lungs. Okay, exchange of gases at lungs. Next, third step is what? Transport of gases by blood. Transport of gas by blood to where? To tissues. Next, fourth, exchange of gases between blood and tissues, cells of the tissues. The last step is cellular respiration. Okay, these are the events of the respiration. So the first step is breathing, which is nothing but inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. So exchange of gases at lungs. When you are inhaling, the air is entering into your lungs. Now the lungs are filled with oxygen, from where the blood takes. The blood takes the oxygen from where? From lungs. So now the blood has taken the oxygen from the lungs. Now what it will do? It will transport to all the cells in the body. Whatever the cells are there in your body, all cells require oxygen. So this oxygen is given by what? Blood. Blood takes oxygen from the lungs and give it to all the cells of the body. Next, after going to the to the cell near this. Suppose this is your cell. So the blood will be there. This is our oxygenated blood. So it will deliver oxygen to the cell. By what process? By diffusion process. And carbon dioxide which is formed inside the cell is given out by the cell, which is again taken by the blood and given again to the lungs. From lungs it is exhaled outside. Okay, after now oxygen has entered into the cell, what happens? The glucose molecule starts breaking down and energy is liberated from the glucose molecule. So these are the 5 steps, very important events of respiration. Okay. Now we will see what are the organs of respiration. Before that, we will see the structure of lung. Just we will revise the structure of lung. So what is lung? Lungs are, how many lungs are present in human body? 1 pair of lungs, or 2 lungs are present in the human body. So what? Right lung is somewhat bigger than the left lung. Why? Because to create the space for the heart. And where the lungs are situated? In the thoracic cavity. So I have explained this. This is our diaphragm. Above the diaphragm, whatever the parts are present, they are present in which cavity? Thoracic cavity. Okay. This is our abdominal cavity. Below the diaphragm is abdominal cavity. So here all your digestive parts, stomach, pancreas, all these are present in the abdominal cavity. Your lungs, heart, they are present in the thoracic cavity. Clear? So lungs are present in the thoracic cavity. A pair of lungs. They are protected by ribs, rib cage. They are protected by rib cage. So lungs are soft, spongy in nature. They are covered by a membrane called pleural membrane. In this membrane, a fluid is filled, which is called as pleural fluid. The fluid is called as pleural fluid. What is the function of pleural membrane and pleural fluid? Protects the lungs from external shocks and reduces the friction while expansion and contraction. So it reduces the friction, expansion and contraction. There will be some pressure on the lungs. So this fluid is helping to reduce the friction of the muscles which are expanding and contracting. Okay. Next, it protects the lungs from external shocks. Okay. Next, what? So right lung is bigger than the left lung. Okay. To create the space for the heart. Inside the lung, what happens? Inside the lungs, what will be there? We have so many grey ball-like structures which are called as alveoli, where at that place gases exchange takes place. So this is about lungs. Now we will see the respiratory parts. So what are the respiratory parts involved in the respiratory system? First, nostrils. So a pair of nostrils are present. From nostrils, nasal cavity. From nasal cavity enters into pharynx. Pharynx. From pharynx into larynx. Larynx. From larynx into trachea. From trachea to what? Bronchi. From bronchi to bronchioles. Bronchioles to alveoli. Alveoli to blood. So this is the parts. These are the parts involved in the respiratory system. So air enters through nostrils. Then it passes to nasal cavity. So what happens in between these? In nostrils we have hair-like structure, hair. Okay, we have hair. So what is the function of hair here? It will filter the dust particles which are present in the hair. In the air. Next, and then nasal cavity, it is filled with mucous mucus, it is moist in nature. Nasal cavity is wet in nature or moist in nature. Why? Because it reduces the temperature of the air. It adjusts the temperature of the air to our body temperature. Okay, so the function of nasal cavity is to moist the air, to bring the air to our body temperature. Then the air enters into the pharynx. Pharynx is the common part of digestive and respiratory system. Okay, now from pharynx the air enters through larynx into trachea. So what is larynx called? It is also called as voice box. So here on the larynx a pair of vocal cords are present which are helping us to make sound. Okay, so on the larynx one more important structure is present. What is that is called? Epiglottis. So hope you remember epiglottis. It is acting as door for the larynx. Epiglottis is a flap-like structure which is preventing the food to enter into the lungs. So that's why our elders tell that we should not talk while we are eating, because like epiglottis is closed while you are eating, but when you are talking the exhaled air which is coming forces the epiglottis to open and makes the sound through larynx. Okay, hope you remember. Just go to the previous videos. Okay, epiglottis. So epiglottis is the important structure. So what happens when your food enters into the epiglottis? What happens? Choking occurs and the person will feel breathless. He will get hiccups. Hiccups ostai. Next, person may die also sometimes. So very important structure. Epiglottis is a flap-like structure which is protecting the entry of food into the respiratory system. Okay. Now coming to trachea. Trachea is covered by cartilaginous rings. Trachea is covered by what? Cartilaginous rings. What is the function of these cartilaginous rings? It prevents the trachea from collapsing because the air is creating some pressure on the trachea. So if it is not protected, it will collapse, it will break. That's why cartilaginous rings are present on the trachea which is protecting from the collapsing of trachea. Then trachea is divided into two bronchi. Trachea is divided into two bronchi. These bronchi are again divided into small bronchioles. On these bronchioles, small air sacs are present, small balloon-like structures or grape-like structures which are nothing but alveoli. This alveoli is so much folded and appears as small ball-like structure. There are numerous millions of alveoli in each lung. So at this place the respiration, that is exchange of gases occurs. That is oxygen is given to the blood and carbon dioxide from the blood is taken by the alveoli. Clear? So we have seen one molecule of hemoglobin combines with how many molecules? Four atoms of. So one hemoglobin combines with 4 oxygen molecules. So we have seen that by the process of diffusion, exchange of gases occurs. So the oxygen is given to the which hemoglobin present in the RBC cells. Hemoglobin has high affinity to attract with the oxygen. So it immediately attracts with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin is delivered to the cells of the tissues. Carbon dioxide is generally less dissolved in the hemoglobin, but it is mostly converted into bicarbonates, and the bicarbonates are dissolved in the plasma of the blood and they are carried to the alveoli where they are again converted into carbon dioxide and exhaled outside. Clear? So this is about the structure of lungs and respiratory parts. So what is the role of diaphragm? Very important. So diaphragm is a dome-like structure. Diaphragm is a dome-like structure. What is happening when diaphragm? Diaphragm is a dome-like structure. Okay, when we are inhaling, so I have told some code words to remember also. When we are inhaling, what happens? Diaphragm contracts. Then what happened? Diaphragm contracts and the space in the thoracic cavity, that is space in the lungs cavity increases. So what happens when the space is increased? The pressure is decreased. The pressure is decreased in the lungs, that is in the thoracic cavity. So outside pressure is more. So diffusion is high to low. So air from outside enters into the lungs. Clear? So when during exhalation, what happens during exhalation? The diaphragm relaxes. So diaphragm comes to its normal position, relaxes. So what happens? The space in the thoracic cavity decreases. So pressure increases. So the air present in the thoracic cavity goes outside. Clear? That in this way inhalation and exhalation occurs. In the body. So that's what we have seen. Next we have seen about cellular respiration. So we have seen that inside the cell, the glucose has entered inside the cell. Entered inside the cell. So glucose is converted into pyruvate in the cytoplasm, and this process is called as glycolysis. Glucose. Glyco means glucose is, lysis means broken down in the cytoplasm. So this process is called as glycolysis. So now after the pyruvate, 3 carbon molecule, glucose is 6 carbon molecule. So 3 carbon. After formation of pyruvate molecule, depending on oxygen availability, it will either go for aerobic respiration. If oxygen is available, it will go for aerobic respiration. If oxygen is not available, so what happens? It will go for anaerobic respiration. Clear? Now, so what happens in aerobic respiration? You know the entire process is, so how many? 38 ATPs are produced in aerobic respiration. From one glucose molecule you will get 38 ATPs. But in anaerobic respiration, what happens? If we have studied 2 types in anaerobic respiration. In yeast, what is that process called? Fermentation. This process is called as fermentation. So what happens here? Ethyl alcohol or ethanol. Both are same only. And along with carbon dioxide, ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide is produced in the yeast, and this process is called as fermentation. Okay, when coming to the other like human muscles or lactic acid bacillus, what happened? The pyruvate is converted into lactic acid and energy is liberated. So what happens due to this formation of lactic acid? The lactic acid crystals are deposited in the muscle cells when you are doing vigorous exercise. When you are doing vigorous exercises, so what happens? Your muscles continuously goes on working. So they are in the oxygen debit conditions. So they need continuous supply of energy and continuous energy, that is ATP. That means continuous supply of oxygen. But they are in oxygen debit condition because it takes some time to come oxygen to come into the muscle. So then meanwhile what does the muscles do? They will do anaerobic respiration. So pyruvate is converted into lactic acid and energy is liberated. So this lactic acid are deposited as crystals in the muscles and they cause pains to your muscles when you are doing vigorous exercises. After 2 to 3 days, the lactic acid crystals dissolves in the blood and they are again converted into glucose. Okay, this is about cellular respiration. Clear? So cellular respiration, first part occurs in the cytoplasm, that is glucose to pyruvate occurs in the cytoplasm. This pyruvate enters into mitochondria. In aerobic respiration, the pyruvate enters into mitochondria and from there ATPs are produced in the mitochondria. In anaerobic respiration, how many ATPs are produced? Only 2 ATPs are produced. Okay. Now when the mountaineers when we are going deep into the sea, what happens? We need to carry oxygen cylinders with us because as we go high above the sea level, the oxygen level decreases. So the hemoglobin cannot combine with the oxygen. So the affinity of breathing decreases. So the person may die. That's why if you carry an extra oxygen cylinder, though the oxygen is decreased in the atmosphere as you are going high, but you have oxygen cylinder, so hemoglobin can combine easily. And when you are going deep into the water, what happens? You don't have gills to take the dissolved oxygen present in the water. So we need to take extra oxygen, and even at the deep sea levels the oxygen availability is also less in the water. Clear? So this is about why we should carry oxygen cylinders with us. Next, so we have seen some experiments of anaerobic respiration. We have seen some experiments of anaerobic respiration. Hope you remember this. So what are the So we have seen carbon dioxide is liberated during anaerobic respiration by an experiment, yeast experiment. Okay, so you have taken one bottle in which you have taken glucose solution. So you have heated it to remove the oxygen present in the glucose solution. Without shaking, you should keep it and cover it with paraffin wax. Cover it with paraffin wax to test if this glucose is still, if oxygen is present in this glucose solution. How do you test? By using Janus green bee solution. Okay, green bee dye. Janus green bee dye. Okay, if it turns into pink, if it turns into, that is Janus green bee dye. If it turns into pink, then you have still oxygen present in your glucose solution. Clear? Take a beaker in which you have added glucose solution, heat it, cool it without shaking. Before that, cover it with paraffin wax to test whether still you have any doubt oxygen is present. To test that, what you will do, take some solution and add some Janus green bee solution, which is blue in color actually. The dye is blue in color. If it is turning into pink color, then oxygen is not present in this glucose solution. Clear? Now cover it with paraffin wax. After that, what happens? You will insert a rubber stopper having a 2 holes. In one hole you will insert a thermometer, and in another hole you will insert a U-shaped. So this is our rubber stopper, this is a thermometer, and in another hole you will insert a U-shaped tube. This tube is opened into a beaker containing lime water. beaker containing lime water. So in this you have added, along with glucose you should add some yeast also, yeast particles, yeast suspension. You will add some yeast suspension. Keep the apparatus like that. So what happens, yeast will take the glucose, it will eat the glucose and it will break down the glucose and respiration occurs, carbon dioxide is liberated. So this carbon dioxide goes through this U-shaped tube and enters to lime water and goes to the lime water, and lime water turns into milky in color. So we say that carbon dioxide is liberated during anaerobic respiration because yeast carries anaerobic respiration. Even the temperature is also increased in the thermometer. So you will, this glucose is converted into what in this? Ethyl alcohol. So you will get some sweetish smell also. So this is about anaerobic respiration. Carbon dioxide is evolved during anaerobic respiration. So we will separate the ethanol and sugar solution by what method? Fractional distillation method. Okay. I have explained that also. Next, combustion. What is combustion? Heating any molecule outside is called as combustion. So there is a difference between, the combustion and respiration. Respiration is also a process of combustion, but respiration occurs inside the body, combustion occurs outside the body. A large amount of heat is liberated in combustion, but when compared to respiration, only in respiration small amount of heat is liberated. So we have seen the experiment also. So I am not going to discuss this experiment. So hope you remember that experiment. Okay. Next. So we have seen that in simple organisms how the exchange of gases occurs in unicellular organisms like amoeba, paramecium, and simple multicellular organisms like hydra, planaria. So the exchange of gases occurs through simple process called diffusion through body surface. When you come to earthworm, it occurs through skin. If the respiration is occurring, if the exchange of gases is occurring through skin, what we call, it is called as cutaneous respiration. And if the respiration is occurring through gills, then we will call as brachial respiration. And if respiration is occurring through lungs, we will call it as pulmonary respiration. So in fishes, the respiration occurs through gills. So it is called as brachial respiration because gills are also called as brachy. Okay. Now coming to frog. In frog we see three types of respiration. When it is in water, it will respire through skin. So cutaneous respiration. When it is on land, it breathes to lungs. That is pulmonary respiration. And one more special type of respiration which is called as buccopharyngeal respiration is also found in frogs. Now reptiles, aves, crocodiles, mammals, even the whales, all these respire through lungs. So that is pulmonary respiration. In insects, that is arthropods, the respiration occurs through small tube-like structures called trachea. So it is called as tracheal respiration. In arthropods, the respiration is tracheal respiration. Clear? Now, even the plants also respiration occurs. Along with photosynthesis, respiration occurs. In photosynthesis, the carbon dioxide is released. But in respiration, what? Same, oxygen, like human beings only. Oxygen is used and carbon dioxide is sorry, I have told wrong. In photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is used and oxygen is released, and it is reversed in the respiration. Same as humans in plants also respiration occurs. Means oxygen is inhaled, the oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. So in plants, how the respiration occurs, exchange of gases occurs through three parts. What are they? Stomata present in the leaves, lenticles present on the stem, and root hairs present on the root. So these are the parts where the exchange of gases takes place. Next we have seen about the aerial roots. The plants which are growing in marshy areas, their roots cannot take oxygen because they are filled, the soil is completely filled with water. So how does they breathe? How does the root breathe? They develop a special structure called aerial roots, which have small holes on them, which are called as nematophores. So these nematophores through this nematophores exchange of gases occurs. Next, we have seen some more experiments like carbon dioxide is evolved during respiration by sprouted moong dal or bajra seeds. You have taken one bell jar in which you have taken some sprouted seeds and you have kept one small beaker containing lime water. In another set you have taken seeds which are not sprouted, kept a beaker containing lime water. Now keep the apparatus closed and keep it without touching for 24 hours. When after 24 hours you see that in the sprouted seeds the lime water has turned into milky, because the sprouted seeds respiration has occurred and the lime carbon dioxide is released, which enters into the lime water and it changes into milky structure. And in another set there is no respiration because sprouted seeds are not present in this. Okay. Next we have seen that heat is liberated through the respiration by process. You have taken a thermos flask in which you have taken the sprouted seeds. So cap is replaced by the cork having one hole in which you will keep the thermometer. The bulb should touch the sprouted seeds. Leave the apparatus for some time. Note the temperature, initial temperature. After 2 hours you note the temperature. What you will observe, there is an increase in the temperature steadily. Why there is increase in the temperature? Because the sprouted seeds are carrying respiration and during which heat is liberated. This heat is causing increase in the temperature in the thermometer. Okay. So we have seen the difference between photosynthesis and respiration. I am not going to discuss the entire points. Just photosynthesis is the main process which occurs during sunlight. Here it should occur in all the time. Next, photosynthesis is an anabolic process. It is a catabolic process. So next it is endergonic reaction. It is exergonic reaction. Next here, what are the raw materials? Carbon dioxide, water are the raw materials in photosynthesis, and glucose and oxygen are the raw materials for the respiration. Oxygen is evolved in photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is evolved in the photosynthesis. Next, the weight of an organism is increased in photosynthesis, the weight of the organism is decreased in respiration. So we have seen the equations. I think I have not given the equations of this. So, see, you know the photosynthesis equation, right? So, you know the photosynthesis is C6H12O6 plus 6CO. Sorry, 6, this is a respiration equation. 6O2 gives rise to 6CO2 plus, wait, 12H2. Yeah, 6H2O plus energy. Okay, this is respiration equation. Okay, respiration equation. Okay, C6, 1 molecule of glucose in the presence of 6 molecules of oxygen is converted into energy, water and carbon dioxide. This is respiratory equation. So what is the photosynthesis are the C6CO2 plus 12H2O gives rise to C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. This is what? Photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, this is the photosynthesis equation. Okay, so you should write this equation also in difference. So this is about the entire chapter in brief. So clear? Thank you.